Hey, so this is the full guide of how to create great video scripts for YouTube. So if you're interested in creating video content, if you're an online business owner selling digital products or providing services, if you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner, or if you are just a content creator and you're enthusiastic about creating content, or you are interested in these topics in general, you will find great value in this video. So my name is Mir, and I've been in the video industry for more than a decade by now. I've been creating and editing video content, and I've created content on 5 different YouTube channels, and I've created and edited thousands of pieces of content for myself and for clients throughout the years. And the main thing that always grabs my attention the most in video is the first step. And that is the step in which we get our ideas in our brains, gather them, and then put them into the real world. And that step is writing and creating a script. So that's why I'll dive deep in this video. It's a step-by-step full blueprint of my process. So if you pay close attention, by the end, you will be able to craft your own killer scripts for YouTube and other platforms. So go bring your favorite drink, and it's ideally coffee because you'll need to pay close attention in this one. And I'll go through them step by step. I'll probably even keep this video kind of raw because I just want you to feel comfortable. This is basically me explaining to you, a friend to a friend, this topic, the entire process for free. So make sure that you stay tuned. All right, so now we start from the first step, which is, in my opinion, the most important, and that is to get clear on your strategy. Of course, we wouldn't dive right into writing the script because you have to get clear on your main goal that you're trying to achieve from the video and video content and script itself. Before you write something, you must know exactly what you're trying to achieve, and that is what we're going to be doing here. So when I say your strategy, I'm referring to 3 main things. So the first one is your business in general. So chances are you're an online business owner or just a business owner or in general that you are trying to use video content for marketing because it's just so powerful and effective. And the way that you're going to be doing that is dictated by your main goals and what you're trying to achieve. So when it comes to your business and getting clear on your business strategy, what I'm referring to right here is basically what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to help? What is your market? Who are your competitors? What are their strategies? What offers do you have? How would you downsell or upsell your prospects? As well as, do you have a sales funnel? And what other marketing methods are you trying to implement? And even we will go as far as your pricing. So get clear on everything about your business. That's the first thing that you want to be doing. And then get clear on your ICP, who are your ideal client profile. So who are them? What is their demographics? Okay. Your ICP are the people that you would ideally be working with. Okay. So you must know them as much as you can. And one part from knowing them is that you know what are their problems. Okay. You must know exactly what problems are they suffering from, what are their pain points, and what are their desires that they would like to achieve. Okay. As well as what are their objections that they're going to be presenting you when you present them with your solution. And finally, how would you go about handling those objections? So you must get clear on your ICP so that you talk in their terms, okay, in a language that they understand, and you're directly communicating with them. That's what I want you to be doing. And there's one other thing, and that is there's another circle that's larger than the ICP, and this one is your targeted audience. So for example, let me just give you a quick example. In this video, I'm basically talking more so to online business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and service providers who want to double down on video content and improve their script writing. However, among my target audience are also content creators themselves, okay? So you could be a content creator and do no online business, just depend on sponsorships, affiliate links, and YouTube AdSense, and still you could definitely get a lot of benefit from my video. That's why I'm targeting a larger demographic than only my ICP. but the main thing is your ICP, so get clear on it. Now, the final thing that you want to get clear on in terms of your strategy is your content. So what is the main thing that you want to achieve with your video content? Now, I've done another video about the main things that you could achieve. It's called Boost All Your Business Metrics with Video Content. And those include generating qualified leads, directing traffic, getting awareness. It also includes building authority, as well as boosting your conversion rate and improving your ROI for your business. You could achieve all of these from great strategic video content, only if you do it right though. So what is your main goal? Now, I have to give you an example. So I will be doing this throughout this video. And I would say that, let's say that you are an online coach, a fitness and nutrition coach. Okay. So that's your business, and you have come clear on your business strategy, and your ICP, let's say, are 25 to 50-year-olds, okay, men, for example, for the sake of convenience, let's say. I'm just giving this as an example. You could be whoever, but this is the example just to make it clearer for both of us. Now, if these are your ICP, you want to be directly speaking to them, okay? But you should get a bit more clear on that and detail. So let me say that these are busy, okay? Busy professionals, like maybe CEOs or whatever, but I just don't want to get that detailed about it. So this is your ICP, and you could get even clearer about it. And the main goal that you want to achieve with your video content is to, let's say, get qualified leads, okay? So you want people to watch your content, you educate them, you inspire them, you entertain them, and you also present them with your offer, and you end up getting qualified leads for your business who know who you are, they know your offer, and everything else. So basically, this step is all about getting clear on your strategy, and it is a huge step, so don't sleep on it. The next thing that you want to be doing is to come up with great video ideas, which I'll be explaining in a bit. Okay, so now that you have come clear on your strategy for your business, ICP, and content, it's time to come up with great video ideas that will serve your strategy. So that's the main thing that you want to be doing. You don't want any ideas. Like, you can do POV videos, but would that serve your strategy? Or would educational videos do that more often? Or actionable videos like the one I'm doing here, a how-to? Or what type of video will suit your business? So in this case, I have listed 3 main ways to come up with great video ideas, and these are all good. The first one is the most common one, in which you find one of your competitors in the market, and you basically look at their channel or social media, and you might see, for example, let's say your competitor, in the case of the example that we gave, also provides coaching on fitness and nutrition. And you open their YouTube channel and you find that most of their videos have, say, around 5K views, okay? However, you go into the channel and search deeply, and you find a video that has outdone all the others. This is called an outlier videos. Let's say that this video has 250,000 views. So you must grab this video, okay, and study it. Study the title and thumbnail, the idea, the script, the delivery, the editing, everything. But the main thing that we are talking about is the idea itself, okay? So that's one great way to come up with great video ideas that have been proven to work for your ICP. So how better it could get. Now, the second way that you can do this is to use your personal stories, because a lot of people want that personal side of things. So you might have a win in the past, okay? This would inspire a lot of people. Or you might, on the other way, you have a failure, okay? This is also inspiring, because look at you. You're now here. You've made it after that failure. And you have learned lessons that you are giving it for free to your audience. That's why using personal stories and breakthroughs is also a great video idea for your business and content. And of course, I don't even have to mention this throughout this video. Every single step you can get the aid of AI. So in this case, what I mean by AI is that you give, let's say, ChatGPT, okay, your strategy that I mentioned in the step before. So you tell it, this is me, this is my business, these are the people I want to help, my ICP, this is how I'm going to be helping them, my offers, and I want to use video to accomplish this goal, which in our example case was to generate more qualified leads. So this is your prompt. Give me 10 engaging YouTube video ideas with great titles, while at it, with great titles that resonate with my ICP and a broader target audience. This way, it will be engaging as well as informative for your ICP. So do that if you want to, and it will basically give you 10 video ideas that then you will have to look at, and maybe none of them will work directly, but it is certainly a great starting point. Then what you would have to do is to validate your topic audience fit. So it's not a guarantee that the idea that you come up with and you think is a great one would actually work. So how would you find out about that? Well, you will have to research online. Go to YouTube or go to Google and Reddit and search for the keywords that your ICP would ideally search for. All right. So in this case of you doing nutrition, what are they searching for? Look at the keyword volume. There are other third-party softwares as well. I wouldn't want to mention them, but there are a lot of them which will give you the search volume. Okay. So you could at least use Google Trends, let's say, but there are also paid ones and ones specific to YouTube. You will find them if you want to. So use that to get the actual data of what are your ICP and your target audience actually searching for. Then use those for your title, but also for your video idea in general. Now, in the case of the example that we gave, in which you are an online coach in fitness and nutrition niche, okay, or industry, in this case, your video idea would be a 10-minute nutrition system. So you would provide the nutrition system. It would be 10 minutes because, as we said before, your ICP are busy professionals like businessmen, entrepreneurs, CEOs, etc. So that's why this is a good idea. And then, of course, you will have to research it and get the assistance of AI all the time. So now let's get into the next step, which is a bit different, but I'll mention it just to make it even better. So just before we get into deciding on the script style and actually writing it, let me explain this important step. And by the way, I have listed this entire blueprint in the form of a checklist that you can get back to whenever you write a script. At the top of the description box, there's basically 2 links. The second one is a file, a PDF of a checklist with all these points. I've provided it for you, so download it for free and get back to me. You can also write it down yourself if you want, but it's there to grab, why not? So in this step, you get to have a general rough idea about your title and your thumbnail. So I always recommend having a general idea and have your eye on your title and thumbnail in the case of creating YouTube video content at all stages of the process, in the ideation, pre-production, production, and editing, because now you know exactly where you are heading, okay? So what is the job of a title and thumbnail? Is basically to give the viewers an idea on what you are going to deliver. So when they see your title and thumbnail in their feed or their suggested list or whatever, they decide to click it. When they do, they have something in mind that you have promised them to deliver. And if you don't deliver on your promise, there will be a huge bounce rate and low retention rate, and your video will fail, basically. So if you know exactly what you are there to deliver on, it will be easier for you to deliver on that promise, all right? So this is an important step. In the case of the example of you being an online coach in fitness and nutrition, your video title would be something along the lines of meal prep in 10 minutes as a busy professional. So if you look at it, this actually resonates with your target audience. You're talking about a thing that they are actually searching for, meal prep. And this is to resonate with their being busy. And this is something that they would like, make them like clicking, because they actually identify as a busy professional, your ICP and target audience does. So you should also have a rough idea about your thumbnail. Again, you can do this multiple ways. If you don't know how to do it and there's no one else to do it for you, you could basically ask AI as well. So just like any other step nowadays, AI is a blessing for us, to be honest. So you could basically have a rough idea. Your title would include a stopwatch, okay? A stopwatch and a fridge, so that this reminds them of their meal prep, or actually some list of meal preps that they have done, that you could do that as well. And then text in bold, all caps in the thumbnail that says 10 minutes per week. This is this is attention grabbing, I guarantee. So in this case, that will be the title and thumbnail. Now you should have that idea in your mind whenever you are writing the script, producing the video, and even editing it. So now let's get into actually working on the script by first deciding on the script style. All right, so now that we have come clear on everything else, basically, it's time to decide on a script style. Now there are two main methods for doing YouTube video scripts. There's the word for word method and the bullet points method. The first one, word for word, is basically when you write everything down in the script. So it will span multiple pages, maybe tens of pages in certain cases of content that you have written down, and then you practice it and deliver the script. Now, just a simple warning, this doesn't sound as human as this one does, bullet points. In this method, you basically simplify it for yourself using bullet points throughout your script, in which you don't write the entire thing that you are going to be saying. You just refer to it so that you remind yourself of the main topics, and you just write a few sentences in each bullet point, but then you go on about it naturally in your video, just like I'm doing right now. I'm using a bullet points one-page script for this entire video. So because this is my field, this is where I am comfortable talking about video stuff and pre-production and post-production, everything else. But if this was another field in which I'm not that comfortable, I would usually go for the word for word, which is why if you are also a beginner in terms of creating video content, I would recommend that for your first video at least, you should go for the word for word script, which means that now as an online coach, you have decided on your script style. Now, apart from the general style, you could follow some framework in the structure of your script. So I've listed two main frameworks. There are a lot more in terms of script structure, but I've listed the main two that I see a lot of people use for video content as well as for other types of content on social media, which are the problem, agitate, solution structure, in which you present your audience or viewer with the problem that they have. Then you agitate them on their pain points so that they get a better realization of what they're missing out on. And then you present them with your solution for their problem that will help them fix their problem and get rid of their pain points. So this is a huge structure that is used internationally. And I would also recommend that you use it for your first business video that you're going to be doing for your online business as an online coach. So the other structure that you could follow is called the before-after bridge. In this one, you're basically explaining for your viewers the situation that they have before using your solution. So you describe it, you get into the details about it, the before situation, and then directly you mention the after. So after fixing that problem, how could they end up being? How better would their life be? Okay, so you explain those in that contrast, and then finally, in the last step, you present them with your bridge. So basically, how would they go from your before to the after, okay? with your bridge, with your solution, which is buying your product or your course or actually working with you, okay? So whatever it is your product, those are some structures that you can follow. Now, you could go even more advanced if you want to. I'm just mentioning this so that you know how complicated it could get if you want it to be. So you could use a plot, and this is a worldwide use plot by even world-class movies use this plot and this storyline, in which you are basically telling a story. At this point, you aren't selling something. You are telling a story, an entire story. So in this case, in this storyline, you start with the exposition, basically talking about how things are in the beginning and what are your characters doing. And then there's rise in action, in which a conflict happens and things get messy. You reach your climax, at which you should actually talk about your main point of the video. And then there's the fall in action, things cool down, and at the end there's resolution, in which basically you talk about how things are at the end and how they will be. So this is a plot, you could follow it. It's a bit complex for beginners. I have done it once and it worked like magic, because this basically engages your viewer into the storyline. They want to know what will happen in the end. So you could use it, but maybe not in the beginning. But basically, now you have the main styles that you can go for. Now let's get into preparing the outline. Okay, so in this step, we will build the structure of the script by making a mind map. So you will basically be outlining the main talking points that you should be talking about in that video, which you have now named the title for. What talking points should you be talking about? You write those down and you turn those into the sections of your video. So in the case of our example, you will have a hook and then a problem reality, because you chose the problem agitate solution method, in which you will basically be talking about the problem and agitating the viewers on their problem. So you'll be highlighting how bad the situation is, and then you will have the system overview, a general overview, then the daily steps that they could take, and you will probably present them with some testimonials or examples, and then your call to action. That's your basic video structure for your video that we've been talking about as an example. And after you build the general outline, now you will have to get deeper into it. So basically, within each section of your outline, now you outline the subtopics. So you have a general outline, okay? These are your outline topics, the main topics that you will be talking about, and there are subtopics within each one. For example, in the main topic of the problem reality that you will be talking about as an entire section of your video, you will have some subtopics. Let me give you an example. The problem reality would probably include the time, okay? So talking about the time that your ICP and your viewers already take for meal prep before they use your system. So the time that they will be winning back. Probably you will also talk about the convenience of having a ready-to-go plan for them. And then you will also probably mention, in my opinion, because your ICP are busy professionals, the decision fatigue, okay? So that's something that I've seen a lot of CEOs talk about, which is basically they want to optimize their lifestyle so as to they make the least number of decisions. So you should also talk about that. Now this would be, you would do this thing for the other main topics of your video as well. You will put your subtopics below them. So now you will end up with something like a graph for your main topics and the subtopics within each one. Now you are ready to go, but just after this step, the first thing that you should do is write your hook, which is the first part of the video. Once they click your video, in the case of YouTube videos, once they click it, the first thing that the viewer hears is your hook. How well are you able to hook the viewer into staying and watching your video? So there's a lot of methods to make hooks. I'll probably also make a separate video dedicated to talk about hooks, just like I will make one for ideation, because these are vastly broad topics. There are a lot of ways to create hooks, a lot of types of hooks. That's not the main deal. The main deal is that you will have to accomplish one thing with your hook, and that is click confirmation. So just like I mentioned before, when someone sees your title and thumbnail on YouTube, which is a decision-making platform along with many other things, they decide to click on your video. When they do that, they have something in mind that you have promised them to deliver. And when they open the video, they will be searching for it. Are you actually talking about what they are there for? Are you going to deliver on your promise? Or was it a clickbait? If it was a clickbait, they will bounce, your viewer retention will decline, and they will never come back to you, buy from you. They wouldn't ever do that because now you've basically betrayed their trust. So I would keep away from clickbaits as much as possible. And once they open your video, they will listen to you in your hook, in which you will give them click confirmation. You will tell them basically that you are going to be delivering on your promise. And if they keep watching your video, they will get the benefit that they clicked on it for. So this is huge. This is the main thing that you would want to accomplish with your hook. And we are going on a kind of fast pace now because we have done the fundamentals. So I hope that you are still paying attention. And as a reminder, you can download all these lists, the brief list as a checklist that I have made as a PDF for free. In the top of the description box, the second link, you will find it, download it for free. And let's get into the next step. Okay, so now that we are done with preparing the skeleton of your draft and script by making the outline, and we also prepared the hook, now you would like to add some material to that draft. And you do this by writing down anything you have about each section and subpoint from your mind, okay? So whatever you want to talk about, you write it down. And there's a pro tip here. And that is that this one that we're doing now is a draft. It is not the end product. It is not the script. We are just preparing a draft. So what you would want to do is that you don't review it, okay? So this is essential. You don't review while you are writing. And this is not my tip. This actually I got from world-class bestsellers of books that have sold millions of copies worldwide. None of those authors, while they are writing their draft or script or book, go through each paragraph again and again, improving on it. No, they run through the entire thing once, and maybe they review it after they're done or finished with the entire thing, okay? So this is a great tip, because if you don't do this, you will slow down a lot, because you will try to basically make each section perfect, which would not even happen, but you will try so hard to do that you will end up not finishing the entire script. So you are better off if you just prepare your draft and save the reviewing for later. So be messy about it, no problem. You will improve it later on, as we will talk about it. And after you are done with writing down everything that you know about the topic, now you go and you search online to enrich your draft even further. So you get information online, and some sources for those information are articles. And this includes any article that you find online. Just make sure that it is trustworthy, and maybe fact check any facts that you include in your script, because you are presenting this to people. And chances are, if you are an online coach or consultant or any other type of business that works in the info business, you are basically telling people what is the right thing to do, and you're educating them. So you must fact check everything. But you can get these from LinkedIn articles and other articles online that you find, or even blogs from business websites, because they also do marketing. So you could take some information from them. You could also look up threads. This includes Reddit threads, which people are constantly asking about every topic under the sun. So you can find people asking the questions and other professionals responding to them on Reddit. Also, you could directly go to AI. And by the way, AI gets its information. This is proved. They get their information from Reddit threads. That's the main source of AI information. And they also get it from articles, LinkedIn articles, blogs, and Wikipedia pages. So those are usable places to get your information. And here's the tip. What do you think? Do you think that you are better off if you copy and paste, or you directly rewrite it? you can think that, or actually, probably you're thinking that you should rewrite it. But I've done it both ways. And if you try and rewrite everything while you are researching, the script will take you at least 1 month. If it is educational, especially, it will take you a lot of time. I know YouTubers who have taken more than a year working on a single YouTube video script, because they probably followed this method in which they rewrite everything and they review it. No, you don't do that. You actually copy and paste. Yeah, you do that. You copy and paste. For this stage, you copy and paste whatever you believe that will serve your story, and you fact check them. Then you copy and paste into the script, and you go to the next sub point until you finish each section, and then you go to the next section. And once you're done, only now you go to the next step, which is the 10th in our script. So in this one, you rewrite relevant parts. So because maybe now you have a lot of information that is irrelevant for your video. So you don't need to go deeper on those for now. But what you will be doing is that this material that you have gotten from outside sources, from external resources, now you rewrite them, because of course we respect copyrights. So you wouldn't like to get into trouble. Of course, we wouldn't end up with a script that has stolen material online. No, but we just copied and pasted it in back then in a different format, in a different color. Maybe you put it in italic or a different font or font size. And now you rewrite it. You rewrite it in your own style and in your own tone, because you want the script, which will end up as the video, to be consistent. It wouldn't feel right if it's like you are basically telling parts of the script and then there are other people talking. So if you only copy and paste, of course, there will be a lot of different narratives involved. So you should rewrite it and rephrase everything that you just gotten into your script in your own tone and style, and also in a language that your targeted audience can understand and resonate with. So once we are done with this, only now we move on. But first, I would like to thank you for watching the video up until now, and I hope that you still pay attention for the rest of it. And just keep in mind that I'm trying to clarify each point and each step in the blueprint, while also trying to simplify the main concepts. So now we move, and we are halfway there, and the second half is probably way quicker and easier to implement. So stick around. In this one, we will monitor the word count relative to the video length. Now we will do this, and you should do this in your script, and you should have an eye, you should keep an eye on the video length that you're going for. So what I mean by this is basically you look at your target audience in the beginning, or if you haven't right now, and you look at your target audience. And in the hypothetical example that we gave of you being an online coach in the fitness and nutrition industry, your ICP were busy professionals. That's right. And when I hear that, I instantly think of videos that should be less than 15 minutes long, okay? So you will only know what script length in terms of word count you should be going for with trial and error. So you should create videos, and with time you'll get a better grasp on the word count of your script for the word for word script style that you should be going for each video length. So maybe it depends on your own pacing, to be honest, but maybe for a less than 15 minutes video length, so let's say you are going for a 12-minute video length, maybe it will be all right if you go for a script word count of, say, 1,600 words, okay? So only keep an eye while we move in the rest of the process on that you don't vastly exceed the 1,600 words in your script, so that you don't deviate a lot from the 12-minute mark of your video. Okay, so keep an eye on this. This is a thing that I wanted to mention so that we have an eye on. And the next step, okay, is that now you will actually get to review it. Now you have had the urge to get back at each section and review it up until now. But now you will get to actually review it. And what I want you to do in reviewing it is that first start with deleting anything that is a repeated sentence or a sentence and a topic or idea that doesn't serve the main goal of the video. And I want you to be ruthless. So imagine grabbing a sword and killing every extra paragraph and subtopic in your script that doesn't serve the main goal. Be ruthless. Don't worry, even if it is a great copy that you've written and sounds poetic, delete it. It doesn't serve your goal or video. So this is not its place. You can keep it elsewhere. You can copy it to another file and use that poetic copy that you've written in another video. But for now, be ruthless and delete everything extra in your script. I guarantee you that this will get you the best script that you've ever written. So the next step, now that you are done with the extra things, okay, now you can enrich the rest of the script that you have with more data. So you would want to enrich the whatever is remaining from your script after ruthlessly deleting the extra parts with more stats that you get online. And of course, I can't stress this enough. You should fact check everything that you get. So get your stats, quotes if necessary, examples of the concepts that you mentioned, and also definitions of the words that might be new to your audience. And you get these and you keep the references. So basically, whatever you get a data online, I think you are better off to have a policy of keeping the link as a reference in another document. When you're done and when you are posting the video, you should cite the reference of the main data that you have used in your video, just in case someone is in a copyright claims spree, so that you don't get into trouble. To keep you in the safe side, keep the references of whatever data you're getting. And now we move on. So in the next two steps, we will transform your script from being just a good script into a great video script. And we will do that by making it more engaging and personalized. So the way you will go about doing that is that you first, in the 14th step of the blueprint, you make it more engaging. So how would you do that? Think with me. How would you like people to tell you stories and talk to you? So think of what do you want them to do, and you do it in your script. So number one, you write the script in your actual spoken language. Okay, so you don't write it grammatically correct like an article. Okay, so the language that you write your script in should be the one that you actually speak. This will make it way easier for you. Okay, so that's number one. What I'm referring to, by the way, is basically you don't say do not, let's say. We usually don't say that. So you just write don't. Make it easier for you, okay? That's one way that we can do that, okay? So the next thing is that you talk directly. You deliver your script, so you write it the way that you are going to directly be talking to a friend. I've seen people, mainly great YouTubers, that when they are shooting the video and when they are writing the script, they act like they are writing it to a friend. They even mention their friend's name in the beginning of the sentences. They just don't read it. So you can do that as well. Just be as if you are delivering the script and writing it to a friend. It will make it way easier and more normal. The next thing that you want to be doing is be conversational and ask rhetorical questions. Just like I asked you a moment ago, what way do you want people to tell you stories? So you wouldn't answer that. You can't speak right now. I'm the only one who speaks in this video. But I asked you as a rhetorical question just to engage you in, okay? So in response to my question, you thought, and that's basically me engaging you into the video. So ask rhetorical question. That's a secret sauce right there. Another thing that you would like to be doing is that you use the pronoun you a lot, not a lot, but as much as possible whenever it feels natural. So instead of using I or me or whatever, you try using you. The reason behind this is a psychological one. They say that everyone would like to hear their own name. It is the most beloved thing that one could hear. I've heard this from other people. So in a video, you can't actually name every single viewer. You can't even name one because you don't know who you are talking to. but you can just refer to them with the word you, and it will kind of have the same effect. So you will successfully engage your viewers by using the pronoun you as much as possible whenever natural, okay? So in this step, we made it more engaging by engaging the viewer in. But now we make it more personalized by adding your personality. So that's the difference between a human making a script and the AI writing it. Don't get me wrong, but AI doesn't have a personality, okay? You do. So integrate your personality into your script by doing these three main things. So first of all, state common beliefs, okay? And then challenge them with your own beliefs, okay? So let me give you an example. In the theoretical case of your business being an online coach in the fitness and nutrition industry, you would basically state the common belief of that workouts are the most important thing for your health, okay? A lot of people think that, maybe not most people, but a lot of people think that workout is the number one thing and number one contributor to your overall health. So you state that, and then you challenge it with your own belief, which is that nutrition is way more important, which is also true, by the way. But you basically challenge the common beliefs with your own belief, and this adds your personality. This is you who did that. Now you have a personality, you have your opinions. That's the way online things work. That's the way YouTube works, okay? Or social media. You have to have your own personality. It's not like conventional TV in which you have to be politically correct 100% of the time. No, you can be yourself and show who you are. So another thing that you can do in order to add your personality to your scripts is that you tell personal stories. And these stories don't have to be perfect. Actually, they should be imperfect. So you can state any loss, any failure that you've had in your past life, and then present your audience with the deep lessons that you have learned from it. So presenting your audience with deep lessons, make them feel your feelings, the feelings that you had once you had that success or failure story. And these deep lessons are valuable, okay? It shows the human side of yourself, that you are imperfect. And what better way can we integrate your personality into your video? I think this is the best way. So make sure that you follow these steps and we move to the next one. Just as a quick note, I would like to remind you that we are getting closer and closer to a great part of the script, which is the call to action. So that is where you are actually going to make money. So if you are interested in money, stay until that part, and I'll tell you exactly how to incorporate great calls to action just in a bit. But for now, let's get into the 16th step of the blueprint, which is to make each section cohesive. So you should look at each section, and within the section, you make it cohesive. So the same tone, and make it sound like it's coming from you. Okay, so make it have a certain style, but also improve the pacing. Okay, that's how you make each section cohesive, so that within each section, it looks like your script is flowing like water. Okay, which is a good thing to go for. So one way that you do this is that you use pattern breaks, okay? So note this concept. Pattern break is basically anything that you do that the viewer doesn't anticipate. So it could be something abnormal, or it could be something as simple as changing the camera angle, or changing the location that you're shooting from, or your setup, or whatever. Just include pattern breaks. It could also be B-roll, or any other different shot than what you have been shooting the entire time, to minimize the boredom that your audience gets, okay? So there are many ways to use pattern breaks, and by the way, this was also a pattern break in case you recognized it in the previous section of the video. I wrote this down, but it has no business being there, except that I wanted to use it as a pattern break to have your attention back. So I also had another use for it, because I never ended up using that equation after college. So I said, why not use it now? But yeah, that's a pattern break right there. Even though it serves no actual value to the narrative, but it acts as a pattern break, okay? So also you should plan you using media. This includes B-roll and illustrations or animations or graphs that you're gonna be incorporating into your video. The reason you are doing this is because that, think about it. If you are going to present a graph or table in your video, so you will need to be talking about it. So you should have something written in your script that you are going to deliver. That's why you should plan including such media in the script. And this is where you do that, okay? So if you found a graph or something, you should plan using it and write down what you are going to be saying while the viewer is watching the graph or the animation or the illustration or B-roll. So this way, if you incorporate pattern breaks the right way, not a lot of them, just a bit, you can actually improve the pacing and make each section cohesive. The next thing is that to make the script overall cohesive. And the way you do this is basically just like you made each section flow. Now you make each section flow into the next one, okay? Like water again. So the way that you do that is basically sometimes you could reorganize the order so that everything falls into place. So it has a natural storyline or narrative that you will talk about the next most natural thing to talk about. And this way your script would be very cohesive and it will flow. And this is a good state for your video to be at. And one other way that you could do that is also a great concept that you should always remember, which is to use subtle rehooks, okay? So they should not be a lot and they should not be very obvious, but just use rehooks from now and then. Just like I reminded you of the call to action section at the end of the video before a bit, that was a rehook right there. So whenever you're doing long videos, you should use rehooks to rehook your viewers into listening and watching carefully for the rest of the video, and not just in long videos. Guess who uses this? I'm gonna tell you. One person that uses this the most is Mr. Beast himself. He is the most subscribed YouTuber out there with 400 million plus subscribers. And he doesn't even do educational or business content. He does entertainment content, which is much easier to keep engaging. But he still uses a ton of rehooks. You will see him shooting a 12-minute video, entertaining video, and in each section, he says, wait until we do this. If you thought that this is interesting, wait until the next section in which you'll see someone do something. So he constantly uses rehooks. And guess what? As a rule of thumb, Mr. Beast knows how YouTube goes. So since he is doing rehooks, I think you should be doing it too. Now let's move into the next section. Here we go, the last few steps. And in this one, I want you to imagine delivering the script and try to emphasize your strength points. So each one of us have their own strength points and weak points. So in your case, you might be looking cool when you're casually telling stories. And if you do look cool casually telling stories, maybe think about adding more of those in your script. So add more stories because that's your strength point at that point, okay? And you might also not sound as smart when you are presenting scientific data. So people are different. Maybe that's who you are. You don't sound smart presenting scientific data. That's not a big deal. Just reduce the amount of scientific data in your script and you're good to go. So whatever is your strength point, point it out, then emphasize your strength point in your script so that you do a better job when delivering the video and producing the video eventually. So this is a good point so that you play your own game, okay? You play your own game. Even if you have a weak point, it will not appear because you have done your homework in the script. So the next step is to actually practice. So after imagining yourself delivering the script, you actually start doing it. And I recommend doing this 3 ways, okay? It's not just reading. You could listen to the script. That's what I do because I'm not a native English speaker. You probably already know. So I give my script whenever it's ready to AI. There are some third-party software out there that I give my scripts to for free, and they basically narrate it in an American accent if I want to, and I listen to it. I get a better grasp on how to pronounce certain words which I might not have known how to do it beforehand. So listening to the script actually gives you some information, some sensory information while listening to it. One other way is, of course, reading the script out loud. So basically delivering it. This will help you when you are actually going to deliver the script, be able to do it in a better way and do a better job at it. So you practice your script also by reading it out loud. Now, here's the thing. I don't think a lot of people do this, but you should actually write down your script, like in pen and paper. That's what I did, at least. So here you go. Sorry to go out of the scene, but this is one of my scripts. Whenever I'm finished with typing it, I grab a pencil and paper and write it down. So just do that. It will help you a lot, because when you are writing down a script, it's not like reading it. You aren't actually just reading it. You are actually, at that point, reading it, memorizing short parts of it, because you will have to write it down, and then write it down. Whenever you are doing this, you are paying a lot of attention, the most that you're going to be paying to the script. And I always end up making my final edits while writing the script down using a pencil. So don't print your script, although you can. Write it down and you will be better off, especially for your word-for-word scripts. Maybe for your bullet point script, you can do it either way. But I would recommend writing it down with a pen and paper if possible. So here you have it. I think that right now you can write killer scripts for your YouTube videos or for any other purpose online. And if you found value in this video, I would like you to know that I can help you if you are an online business owner, if you are an online coach, consultant, or providing digital services, selling digital products, or you're just any type of entrepreneur. I can help you with your business when it comes to content, not just the script. I can basically guide you and help you through the entire thing, starting from the strategy, ideation script, going through the production. I will help you with your production and guiding you on your delivery, how to improve on it. Then I'll basically teach you the main concepts of editing the video and everything else regarding the production, the thumbnails, the titles, the SEO, and best practices for each step along the way. And I can do that custom made for your own business in a 3-month plan that I have now accessible for anyone interested. You will also have 24/7 access to me directly through a chat. And we will also have a weekly video call in which I'll basically be explaining those concepts custom tailored for your own business, while also you can consult me on whatever you have, your questions. I'll also hold you accountable and answer any question that you have regarding the business of creating content strictly made for your own business purpose. So if you're interested, I'll put a link at the top of the description box. Click on the link and book a call with me. We will talk face to face in a basic call that I would like to introduce myself and get introduced to yourself and your business. And we'll talk about how would you go about leveraging online video content in order to win when it comes to your business, to achieve your business goals, whatever it is. We'll dive deep into that, and I'll also be providing you a free audit of your already existing content, just as a simple gift. So if you're interested, make sure that you click the link at the top of the description box so that we can talk further, and who knows, you might end up wanting me to do it for you. To be honest, right now I have only 2 locations for my done for you service in which I do the entire thing for you. You will only have to record the videos, of course. So either way, we will talk further and let's get into that. If you're interested, just click the link at the top of the description box. Or at least that's one way that you can use your CTA in the end of the video. So I'll still have to mention this point. So this is where you add a simple, actionable CTA at the end of the video. But before you do that, you should have already used another small, very natural and subtle CTA in the first third of your video, okay? So you incorporate that one. It should be natural, just like the one I mentioned. If you remember in the first third of the video, I mentioned that you could download the checklist PDF of the entire blueprint so that you use it in the future from the second link in the description box. That was my CTA in the first third of the video. And just before a few minutes or seconds, you listen to my major CTA in the end. And by the way, I meant it. So if you are an online business owner, entrepreneur, consultant, or coach, or any other agency owner or service provider, do click the link at the top of the description box. And if you're qualified, we will see how we can work one-on-one on your video content. So that is my call to action, regardless of me using it as a case study for this video. So you used your call to action at the end of the video, a major one. And one tip is that you can, and maybe you should, use word for word calls to action. So even if you went for the bullet point script style and not the word for word script, you should still use your call to action and hook in a word for word style, because these parts of the video you can't play with, okay? And I hope that everything is clear by now. Make sure that if there's any unclarity, you comment and I'll respond to you. But overall, this is all you need to know. You don't have now to research anywhere else, in my opinion. So if you understood what I talked about in this video, it is quite simple for you now to create a script. I wouldn't say it's easy, it is simple. And even if you think that it is difficult, wait until that you have to write a script about writing a script like I did here. But anyways, the final thing I would like to mention is that once you are done, you give your call to action and everything, you will just have to swiftly end the video.